We take the 4 species. It's the mitzvah to perform in the 7 days of Sukkos. 8 days, 7 days. What are these 4 species? There's the palm branch, which has a good taste, but not a good smell. There's the myrtle that smells delicious, doesn't have a good taste. There's the willow that doesn't have a good taste and it don't smell so good. And then there's the esrog, which tastes good and smells good. This represents 4 kinds of service. There's the Jew who is like an esrog. He studies well and he does well, the mitzvahs. So he's great both at the study of Torah and at the performance of mitzvahs. The palm branch excels at the study of Torah, doesn't excel at the performance of mitzvahs. The myrtle, because it smells good but doesn't have a good taste, excels in the performance of good deeds, mitzvahs, doesn't excel in the learning. And the willow doesn't excel in the learning or in the doing of good deeds. He's the average, non-excelling individual. We bring them all together, bind them together, and make a bracha over them, representing the unity of the Jewish people, which is consistent with the mitzvah of Sukkah, where all parts of your body and many Jews together can perform the mitzvah at the same time. If the sukkah is big enough, the entire Jewish people can be sitting in one sukkah fulfilling the mitzvah simultaneously. So the oneness of the Jewish people is obviously a strong theme for Sukkos. And that's what comes after Yom Kippur. When we are all forgiven, when we're all starting with a clean slate, we can all do it together. There's nothing separating us. Of course, we have different talents and different abilities, but we're all serving God in our own way, and only when we all serve in our own way do we do the job complete. If the esrog alone were to exist, it would not be a complete service. If the lulav alone would not be a complete service. One other factor in these 4 species is their humility. The esrog, well, let's start from the lulav. The lulav is the tallest and most visible part of the set because it excels in learning. He's the scholar. He gets all the attention. But the fact that it doesn't have a good smell is representing the fact that he doesn't excel in good deeds, but it also represents the humility. He doesn't give off the scent of arrogance. So although he excels at the learning, there's no arrogance connected with it. The leaves all grow side by side. Eventually they will spread, but we take the esrog, the lulav, while the leaves are all together side by side. No arrogance. The myrtle has a good smell, excels in good deeds, but it also is humble in the fact that it doesn't taste good. The leaves grow on the stem 3 at a time, or 3 leaves in the same spot on the stem. Again, togetherness that shows a humility despite the great excellence in doing mitzvahs. The myrtle, of course, grows in thick bunches on the streams. It doesn't have a good taste and it doesn't have a good smell. It is completely humble. It is the simple Jew that the Baal Shem Tov loved and admired and championed. But then there's the esrog. Excels in good taste, excels in a good smell. It's both a scholar and a doer of great mitzvahs. Where is the humility? Well, first of all, it's the smallest, physically, the smallest of all of them. Secondly, it grows and stays on the tree, thriving through all 4 seasons. How is that possible? There are plants that thrive on sunlight, there are plants that thrive in the dark, there are plants that thrive in the heat, and there are those that thrive in the cool, in the wet. How do you thrive through all 4 seasons? And the esrog, unique in the world, stays on the tree and thrives through the heat, through the cold, through the dry, through the wet. The only way you can do that is if you're humble. If you don't take yourself seriously, you can thrive on anything. Whatever God gives you, you thrive on it. But if you have a sense of self, I am this, I am that, well then that's the only way I can thrive. I can only thrive my way. That's a terrible restriction, and that comes from taking yourself too seriously. So the fact that the esrog can thrive through all 4 seasons, that can only come from being totally humble, not taking yourself seriously. And of course, being humble and not taking yourself seriously increases the joy, because humble people are the happiest people.